Hey, Rugbyhub viewers, and welcome back to another great episode. It's good to have you guys here. We are obviously chatting today about the wrap up of the Rugby Championship as well as the upcoming games. We have the summer series as well. Gabsy, it's very, very good to see you. Quick shout out before I greet you properly. A quick shout out to our two winners of the Super Brew pool. It was a tie. Um, Diederik Duvenhagen and Robin Reesen. So since we only have one prize, unfortunately, we'll be having to give one of you. So I'm creating two names. Gabsy, I'm going to let you choose which hand. You're going to pull this one out of the hat. Mix. Your
They
first
put
draws
it
for
up
the
there.
day.
In the meantime, I'm just going to say hi, fans. Lovely to see you guys again. And yes, congratulations to those two guys. Goran. Yeah, I'm going to go
Which one?
for your left hand. Your left
Left
hand.
hand. Congrats to Robin Reasons. Well done. Guys, also, we'll get that prize to you shortly. Guys, so we have obviously got some great competitions coming up for this Rugby World Cup. We'd love you to join, give out some prizes, and get some banter going. Gabsy, it is the Rugby Championship wrap up. Which was a shortened rugby championship due to the Rugby World Cup coming up, with a few games still to be played. It's basically a full on rugby all the way through to the Rugby World Cup. All Blacks on top. They were the Rugby Championship winners, and convincingly so, as well as the Bledisloe. What did you think of them? Are they peaking too soon, or are they just going with great momentum into this World Cup?
Goran, I think, they're just getting better literally with each game right now. I mean, yeah, they feel that it's somewhat a B team, if you want to call it, for the second game of the Bledisloe. But yeah, for me, they've just been, going from strength to strength, and they have the momentum. We know they're
Mm.
always a dangerous team in the World Cup. I think there's a crazy statistic that they've never lost a game in a World Cup pool stage. So the All Blacks is really, a phenomenal team. What more can you say?
Mm.
Congratulations, guys. Yeah, to all the Kiwi fans. I am nervous to play you guys in the World Cup knockouts. Should we meet you there? But yeah, congratulations. We were not good enough. Yeah, can't say
Well,
much more.
Gabsy will have the opportunity to play them in Twickenham towards the end of August for a warm-up match. So, how important that game will be, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I
Then,
mean,
Gabsy, if you're a Wallaby supporter, might not have the best time in life at this stage with
no,
Eddie Jones.
definitely,
Will they be able to
definitely.
turn it around?
Good. I think, yeah, definitely. Eddie Jones is not having the time of his life right now. I'm sure he would have liked to have, yeah, a bit more results by now. I think obviously he's gonna, still give it a crack in the World Cup. They have a quite, I would say, a easier way to the knockouts than some other teams. So I would still
Mm,
expect them to go. I don't know, maybe even to the semi-finals, maybe to the
yeah.
finals. Who knows? I won't write them off just yet. And yeah, I mean, let's see where they go. I see Carter
Yeah.
Gordon is back in the mix this weekend again. Seems like the guy's putting his hand up.
Yeah. Gabsy, and then Argentina seems to be growing in confidence. Obviously, they got that win in Australia against the Wallabies and came up short with 1 point in a very tight and sloppy affair against the Springboks. They will definitely be a threat going into the World Cup. So I would
Definitely.
not count them out. They're looking like a settled squad and
No,
building
for
very
sure,
nicely to the World Cup.
for sure.
Gabsy, Springboks. Is
Yeah,
it time to
Springboks.
panic after this Tri Nations Championship? I mean, we said after that Wallabies game, I mean, we are going to be an absolute threat at the World Cup, and then the preceding games afterwards, the games afterwards rather, didn't go so well. What is the view of the South Africans currently?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to quickly add one thing on the Los Pumas, and it's just we have to remember they have a lot of players also playing the rugby in the Northern Hemisphere. So I really think you're spot on there. I do think they're going to be a threat in the World Cup, and
Mm,
that's it. Won't talk too much about that. But yeah, for the Springboks, to be honest, me personally, as a really diehard Springbok fan, I'm
mm,
quite concerned because I feel like we've had in 2019, yes, we've had the split squad and we've had kind of two groups, and we always knew, like in the pool stages, this is kind of the A team, this is kind of the second A team, because we know there's no such thing as a
mm,
B team. But we've had like a team where we knew this was going to be the team that's going to go and play in a final. Where right now, I feel like we don't have just yet our starting 15 sorted out. We don't know who's going to
Mm,
be that 15 guys playing, let's say, Ireland or Scotland in the World Cup. So that's a bit concerning for me. I mean, obviously, some injuries also play a role in that, but still, by now, I feel
mm,
like I still don't have an idea who's going to be the starting lineup. And that's concerning for me. I mean, we still have a few games left. I do think that the game against the All Blacks right before the World Cup, we will not field our best team. I think it will be more like,
mm.
um, again, experimental or about match fitness
You
for
think
the
so? Yeah.
B players. I don't think we're going to go and play with our best team just just a week or two out before the World Cup. Um, Maybe a guy like Andre Pollard needs to get a run then because he hasn't played any rugby. But yeah, that's for me concerning. I don't know what do you make of it, Goran. I mean, what do you make of the current situation?
Well, it is obviously a bit unsettling because the difference between now and the 2019 Rugby Championship that we had is that we actually did very well in those 3 games and we had very nice momentum going into the World Cup. We felt a bit more settled, etc. But also remembering that we went into that World Cup ranked fifth in the world, and this time we ranked fourth. Gabs, to be honest, look, one thing that I would say, we have to remember that we've got an extremely difficult pool to get out of. So if we get injuries, which is very, very likely, we need other players to be able to step up to the same level. So
We're
everyone
prepared
needs
for
to get,
that. I would have to say we are prepared for that. At least
yeah,
we.
see, exactly. So we might not have settled on who the specific A team is, but now it's more like making sure that everyone gets game time, not giving your hand away in terms of how you're going to play at the World Cup, and just making sure that all the players are confident going into the World Cup because they're taking a squad of what, 35. Last 2019 it was 33, and most likely 2 will get injured and 2 will have to be called up. So you need to make sure that all of those players are integrated into the system and are ready to go at a moment's notice. So
Yeah.
there's still 2 warm-up games left before we, or 3 rather, before we head
Yeah.
into the Rugby World Cup, and obviously then we'd like to start, on a good note. Gabsy, in terms of this weekend, the Springboks is playing against Argentina. They put out another a team that is 13 changes from last weekend against Argentina with a sloppy affair. Argentina, with their tails up, they'll see this as an opportunity to beat the Box since 2018 was the last time. Will they be able to do it? So what do you think of that team? Which of these
Okay,
players
yeah,
needs
I
to put
mean,
up their hands for that World Cup squad?
Guri, lots of changes. I'm not going to run through all of it. You can see it on the screen. But I mean, first of all, congratulations to Bongi getting a captaincy
Mm,
there. I mean, I do think he's a leader on and off the field. And the way also Jock spoke about him, I'm very excited to see what he will do with that leadership role. Obviously, I think it's just short term. But yeah, I mean, right now I think there's quite a few players you have to think that this is a last shot for them to
yeah,
really push and hopefully get a spot in that squad. Even though Jock said, there's no player with a gun against their head, they all know there's a bigger picture and a bigger plan. I personally think the squad has probably already been selected. Maybe there's 1 or 2 guys that
on the fringe.
they
Yeah.
could maybe like make it or break it this weekend. For example, a guy like Andre Esterhuizen, I think it's very much between him and Jesse Creel because we will probably only
Hmm.
take 30 centers. And yeah, I mean, other than that,
Herschel
maybe
Yankees,
yeah,
is
I mean,
Jaden Hendrickson
Herschel,
going to the World Cup? Probably not. He didn't get any game time
that's
this
the thing,
season.
Gori. I mean, to me, I don't know the way they speak about him. It's like as if they know what he can do, but he didn't get
Mm,
any game time. Grant's played
yeah.
phenomenal rugby. I would imagine Kobus, Reinach, Faf, and Grant going. Don't know. I
Same.
think for Herschel, you need to create a miracle off the bench to make it into that squad. Other than
Mm.
that, yeah, I mean, there's still obviously on the locks 1 or 2 guys that will probably fall out, and the same on the flankers. So, I mean, I don't know if Evan Roos and John Luke Dupree is just purely getting match fitness for
I
like these
think they're
call
just
ups.
giving them a run.
Um,
I don't think they're going to the World Cup. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, other than that, I'm excited to see what this team will do. There's actually quite a lot of experience in this team, even though it's, I think, like you said, 13 changes. I don't know exactly how many has been made, but it's
Mm.
a new look side, and I'm very excited to see what they will do. I do think it's going to be a really, really tough game because Argentina is going
Mm.
to be pumped up. They're going to be fired up. They
Very
beat
passionate.
Yeah, they beat the All Blacks in that second half. Let's not forget that in that
Mm,
first game.
mm.
And I think it's also for Creevy, if he comes off the bench, the first Argentinian player to play 100 caps. So, I
Yeah,
mean, what do you make, Guri, I mean,
what a
of the
milestone.
Argentinian team, what they selected to take up this team?
Gabsy, yes. So I think, well, like I said, I'm actually quite a big fan of their team, and I'm a fan of what Michael Cheika is doing. As you said, Creevy coming off the bench for his 100th, appearance for Argentina, which is a massive milestone, and that will just edge on the Argentinians. And then you got a guy like Buffelli coming back. Juan Cruz Malia
Huge.
is now suspended for this game after his collision with Williams. So, but for the rest, it looks like a very strong side. So
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
pretty
they really want to.
consistent team. Consistent
I
team.
think the Springboks and the Argentinians have two completely different sort of approaches to this game. I think Argentina wants to get a win and get some momentum, whereas the Springboks wants to give game time to the guys who's been in the squad and didn't get game time yet, and also to get sort of those players who are going to the World Cup some much needed game time. So
Yeah, my
to me, it's
last
going to be
question
an
to you, Goran. Do you think
yeah.
that might backfire? I'm very scared about this weekend, to be
Yes,
honest.
I honestly do think they're sending those Springboks. They left 16 Springboks at home. The Springboks that went to Argentina, it's basically they sent them to lose. They went on a sinking ship. Honestly, I don't think the Springboks will win this weekend, and that's still yet. I won't panic. I'll
Okay.
panic when we not
When we
peaking
lose
yet
to
towards
Scotland.
the.
When we lose to Scotland.
Wow.
No,
Okay. Yeah.
okay.
Then
But
I'm
yeah, no.
panicking.
On a serious note, just a quick prediction on the game for the Bokke. You said it very loud and clear now. You don't think we will win, but what is your
I
prediction there?
don't. I think Argentina will pip us by 7 to 10 points. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Me,
You.
obviously, patriotic as I am, I think the Bokke will pull it through. It will be close yet again, but we will bring the money home. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's
Gabsy,
it for me. Yeah,
after that game, the Jock Ninabe and Rassi Erasmus will name their squad that will be going to the Rugby World Cup. So that should be around 5 o'clock on Saturday evening, local time in South Africa. For the rest, however, there's a lot of rugby on this weekend. You
yes.
got the Bledisloe 2, which is New Zealand playing against Australia for a second time. Let's be honest, we don't think Australia is going to win this one. It is in New Zealand. New Zealand will most likely, even though they have a much change side, will most likely get the job
I think it's
done
going to be a very
against them.
exciting game. Very exciting game with DMAC going up against Carter Gordon. But yeah,
Yeah,
going with the All Blacks by at least 20 points. Just with the way
it's
they've
a
been
big
playing.
score. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Sam. I think so too. I think so too. And a lot of
All
those other
right.
players are eager to get involved since the All Blacks had such
But
a skilled
let's
squad.
quickly breeze through the other games. And guys, please also give us your predictions for the other games in the chat below. I'd really appreciate that. First other game, we're gonna get a quick insights on as Goran is the specialist with Northern Hemisphere rugby. Um,
It's
Scotland
tough.
versus France.
Scotland. It's just a joke. So this will be actually a great game to see where these two teams are at. Right. There's also an opportunity that if the Springboks don't make it out of their pool in the Rugby World Cup, this could be a quarterfinal. Um, it, our man Finn Russell will be captaining the side against France, and it'll be a good game for both of them to actually see what are they dealing with at the moment before this
And
World
who's
Cup.
gonna who's gonna take it? Who's gonna take it then?
France,
Okay, I'm also gonna go with France on that one. I mean, we all know that they are just an excellent nick right now.
they're deadly.
Wales versus England, another big matchup.
Also, most likely a quarterfinal if both of those teams go through their pools. In this case, I think both of these teams are looking woeful. Not to say that no disrespect, but I don't think England or Wales have settled on anything. Their squad, nothing. So I'll go with England, but I'm not going to watch that game.
I'll be watching that game, and I'm actually gonna, yeah, also go with England. I think they need a bit of
Mm.
momentum before the World Cup. Ireland versus Italy, probably a
All
B.
right. So
Ireland B versus Italy.
so Ireland will take this one, but it'll be fun to see Italy putting up a good match. So I think they're also going to be quite good at the World Cup. Let's hope. But yeah, they won't be able to surpass their pool, I don't think. So
All
I'll go
right.
with Ireland.
That's going to be a tough one for them, definitely, to get out of there. And then we've got Japan playing Fiji. Japan obviously struggling a little bit at the moment. What do
They're
you make of that?
struggling a bit. Fiji put up a great performance to win last weekend with actually their younger side, the Fiji Drua side that's been playing in Super Rugby. Fiji is going to be an exciting one for the World Cup. They've got Wales in their pool. If they manage to beat Wales, once again, no disrespect, then Fiji might find themselves in a quarterfinal again, just like they did. When was it, in 2007?
I think it
Can't
was a
remember.
couple of years ago. Can't fact check that,
So
Stacey, please.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Fiji in this one.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Japan to bounce back, and let's see if they can do so, and maybe they
Mm.
can take one. And then the last game for the weekend that we are covering is Namibia, our neighbors, versus Uruguay, who's playing phenomenal rugby. I mean,
They're
Namibia is
playing
gonna have
some
to
good
put a
rugby,
show on.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
No, Uruguay will win this one,
yeah,
unfortunately
Uruguay.
for our neighbors.
No, I also think so. But Gweri, thanks for the insights on those games. It's been
Yeah.
an exciting episode with a lot of content, guys. Please let us know what you
Stay
guys want to,
tuned.
yeah, what you guys also want to hear in the match, in the matches, in the build up to the World Cup, and let us know what you think of these games this weekend. Thank you so much for all the support, and keep the comments coming.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Have a good one.